You're listening to Community Radio WRFG 89.3 FM. The musical stylings of Antonio Bennett, tenor saxophonist, who will be part of WRFG's Wednesday Wind Down this coming Wednesday. Make sure you're there and get all the musical stylings of this gentleman. And speaking of this gentleman, joining me in the WRFG studio as we speak is Mr. Bennett, who hails from Conyers, GA. And he looks at me and says, "No, not Conyers, it's Covington." I knew that. I was just testing it. I'm just testing you, man. Make sure you're paying attention here.
Right.
How you feeling, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for coming out this morning. And what we need to know about you is that folk don't know, and as he and I were chatting off mic, is that he is the cousin of Marcus Prentup, who is from Conyers.
That is correct.
See, I knew it was one of the two. Yeah, Marcus Prentup, and we've shared Marcus's music on here. Seems like forever, and every now and then he comes back to Atlanta, and graces us with his musical presence. But you and I were chatting off mic, and I want folk to have a little appreciation for who you are and what you're about. Pick up when music became part of your spirit and the instrument.
Okay. Well, I actually started my love for music, I guess, from a small child. Definitely growing up in a house with a lot of vocalists. Definitely from church. That's where my roots originate from. I say around the third grade is when I actually got a strong desire to play saxophone. Again, I'm from Covington, and some of the high schoolers came down to our third grade class and actually played their instruments, drums, trumpet, all that. All those were nice, but there was this one guy had a saxophone and he played some jazzy tune, Charlie Parker or something. I can't remember, but as soon as I heard it, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
And music does that to folk, because I know the first time I heard some jazz, and that was being played by my parents growing up. For some reason, all of a sudden, I connected with it mentally and spiritually, and I'm sure this same story can be told by countless of others, their first exposure to jazz music. So it's not surprising to hear you say that. And once the, quote, bug hits you, then the rest they say is history, huh?
True. Definitely, my mother was one of the influential people that actually saw my love for it and actually invested in me. And definitely did what she could to put a saxophone in my hand. At that point, actually, all she could afford to do was put a clarinet in my hand, which I hated. But
but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, true. And I'm definitely blessed to be able to teach students around Atlanta all the woodwind instruments, and it's because of that clarinet. Otherwise, I would have just played sax. So flute, clarinet, sax, oboe, pretty much any woodwind. I'm currently doing music tutoring as well, so I'm able to do all those instruments.
Yeah, well, they say things happen for a reason.
True.
So that clarinet was the catalyst to bring you full circle to where you are today, man.
Right.
Yeah. Who are some of the tenor saxophonists, professionally speaking, that you gravitate to in terms of their sound and or their style?
Gotcha. My major influence has to be David Sanborn, Grover Washington Jr. And I guess for more of a modern side, I actually attempt to emulate this guy, Gerald Albright. That's one of my favorite saxophonists. He's actually a pretty good friend of mine, and I definitely consider him one of my current mentors. And I study him constantly.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. He's right up there with the big names, to be sure, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we going to hear this coming Wednesday? What do we got to look forward to?
Well, I'm going to have a lot of my friends that are going to join the stage with me. I have a lot of superstars, believe it or not. I mean, there's you could say Atlanta has a lot of local talent, but when you
Atlanta
think about
has a wealth of talent.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
And the musicians and the vocalists that I'm going to have on stage with me far exceed what I've currently done. I mean,
Okay.
I have Ed Stroud, who actually is my lead guitarist. He played. He actually wrote "Chasing Waterfalls" for TLC. He's a guitarist. He
Ah,
did all the
okay.
guitars for Outkast on their first couple of
Wow.
albums. So
Wow.
I have a plethora
Uh-huh.
of talent. I have a 12-piece band and vocalist that's going to be on stage with me. So
Okay.
we're going to have a really good time on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Will you all be getting into like a big band sound
Not at all.
compositions?
We're actually gonna, if you think about it, we're going to do a fusion of jazz. Jazz
Okay.
to me is not necessarily a genre; it's more like a style. You can play gospel jazz, you can play rock jazz, you can play country jazz.
Huh.
For me, we're gonna take several songs, several different genres, and we're gonna put our own flavor on it. We're gonna go anywhere from R&B to funk to hip hop to straight ahead jazz. We're gonna do a whole lot of things, and it's gonna. I really want to reach everyone in the crowd, not just a
Okay.
specific group of people. We actually, I believe in myself that music should be for all people, all ages,
Sure.
all genres.
Sure.
And I could play "Achy Breaky Heart," and you be bobbing your head like you were listening to
Achy Breaky
Tribe Called
Heart.
Quest.
I
I'm
hear
telling
you.
you. So I mean, it's about the flavor and the way you actually present the song. So
Okay.
I don't really handcuff myself or put myself in a box when it comes to music. So
Okay.
jazz, I guess, is the umbrella. But you're gonna hear several different flavors of music
Okay.
coming from us on Wednesday.
The next tune we're going to hear on the music you brought, give me a little descriptor.
Okay.
of it.
The next song you're going to hear, I actually just recently finished this one with my good friend Spencer Lackey, Ultramedia Productions. We're putting together my EP/album, and the song that you're about to hear is a ballad on my soprano sax, and it's basically called "I Love You."
All right. You're listening to Community Radio, WRFG 89.3 FM, talking with Antonio Bennett, who will be part of Wednesday Wind Down this coming Wednesday at Centennial Olympic Park. Make sure you're there, and you can go to the website for more information. Let's give a listen to Mr. Antonio Bennett on your community radio station, WRFG 89.3 FM. You're listening to Community Radio, WRFG 89.3 FM, and that was musical stylings of Antonio Bennett, who will be part of Wednesday Wind Down at Centennial Olympic Park. You said, Antonio, that you miscalled this tune. What is this tune again?
Yes, I did.
That's all right.
It's definitely one of my favorites. It's called "Free Your Mind."
Free Your Mind.
Yeah. So that's one of those jumpy spring type tunes. A lot of influence from that one for me was Grover Washington's several of his songs where he plays on soprano sax.
Right. Who was the vocalist?
That's actually Franklin Spites. He's a guitarist friend of mine, and he's played with a lot of heavy talent.
Okay.
So he's definitely one of those good guys, but I really liked his voice on this song.
Yeah. One of the things you mentioned earlier, as we're about to wrap up, is that you do mentoring, you instruct young folk.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What's the benefit you get out of that?
Well, I look at it like this, with our current economics inside of our school system, there's a lot of things being eliminated.
I know
it. And for myself, depending on the students that I actually work with, I do private lessons. I actually work with several of my friends who are band directors.
Okay.
And when they have that need for a clinician, or they need someone to actually come in and give the students, a new look, and just give them influence and definitely, some guidance.
Right.
I'm definitely looking towards the future, because it's not going to end with me. It's not going to end with the current artists that are out there. I mean, there's a Gerald Albright somewhere out there.
Sure.
That can't even spell saxophone yet because he's so young. So definitely want to be able to keep that vision going and keep the inspiration of music out there. And there's so many people that you can touch if you just put in the effort.
Yeah.
I know for myself, if it was not for me being taken to concerts and seeing live instrumentation,
being exposed to the music,
I would have never had the passion as big as I do now.
And exposure is everything. It allows us to consider the possibilities. So kudos to you in giving back to the community by reaching out to our younger spirits out there, man. Look, I wish you the very best, man. We'll see you on Wednesday. And now that you've come in, you're part of the family. So keep us in the loop on what's happening with you and your music.
Definitely. I appreciate the opportunity to come through, and I definitely, as soon as I finish my EP, my /CD, I'll definitely share that with you guys, and I'm looking forward to having that finished real soon.
All right. You're listening to WRFG 89.3 FM and Antonio Bennett, who will be blowing his sax at this Wednesday's Wednesday Wind Down. Make sure you are in the place. Community Radio, WRFG 89.3 FM.
WRFG presents a Latin Party fundraiser for your community radio station. Saturday, May 30, 2000.